Miscellaneous. The thing you dislike or hate will surely come upon you, for when man hates, he makes a vivid picture in the subconscious mind and it objectifies. The only way to erase these pictures is through non-resistance. See the game of life and how to play it. For example, a woman was interested in a man who told her repeatedly of his charming women cousins. She was jealous and resentful and he passed out of her life. Later on she met another man to whom she was much attracted. In the course of their conversation he mentioned some women cousins he was very fond of. She resented it, then laughed, for here were her old friends the cousins back again. This time she tried non-resistance. She blessed all the cousins in the universe and sent them goodwill, for she knew if she didn't, every man she met would be stocked up with women relations. It was successful for she never heard cousins mentioned again. This is the reason so many people have unhappy experiences repeated in their lives. I knew a woman who bragged of her troubles. She would go about saying to people, "I know what trouble is," and then wait for their words of sympathy. Of course, the more she mentioned her troubles, the more she had, for by her words she was condemned. She should have used her words to neutralize her troubles instead of to multiply them. For example, had she said repeatedly, "I cast every burden upon the Christ within and I go free," and not voiced her sorrows, they would have faded from her life, for by your words you are justified. I will give to thee the land that thou seest. Man is ever reaping on the external what he has sown in his thought world. For example, a woman needed money and was walking along the street making the affirmation that God was her immediate supply. She looked down and at her feet was a $2 bill, which she picked up. A man standing near, a watchman in a building, said to her, "Lady, did you pick up some money?" I thought it was a piece of chewing gum paper. A lot of people walked over it, but when you came it opened up like a leaf. The others, thinking lack, had passed over it, but at her words of faith it unfurled. So with the opportunities in life, one man sees, another passes by. Faith without works or action is dead. The student, in order to bring into manifestation the answer to his prayer, must show active faith. For example, a woman came to me asking me to speak the word for the renting of a room. I gave her the statement, "I give thanks that the room is now rented to the right and perfect man for the right price, giving perfect satisfaction." Several weeks elapsed but the room had not been rented. I asked, "Have you shown active faith? Have you followed every hunch in regard to the room?" She replied, "I had a hunch to get a lamp for the room, but I decided I couldn't afford it." I said, "You'll never rent the room until you get the lamp, for in buying the lamp you are acting your faith, impressing the subconscious mind with certainty." I asked, "What is the price of the lamp?" She answered, $4. I exclaimed, $4 standing between you and the perfect man. She became so enthusiastic, she bought 2 lamps. About a week elapsed, and in walked the perfect man. He did not smoke and paid the rent in advance and fulfilled her ideal in every way. Unless you become as a little child and dig your ditches, you shall in no wise enter the kingdom of manifestation. See the game of life and how to play it. Without the vision my people perish. Unless man has some objective, some promised land to look forward to, he begins to perish. We see it so often in small country towns, in the men who sit around a stove all winter, who ain't got no ambition. Within each one is an undiscovered country, a gold mine. I knew a man in a country town called Magnolia Charlie, because he always found the first magnolia in the spring. He was a shoemaker, but every afternoon left his work to go to the station to meet the 4:15 train, from a distant city. They were the only romances in his life, the first magnolia and the 4:15 train. He felt vaguely the call of the vision in the superconscious mind. No doubt, the divine design for him included travel, and perhaps he was to become a genius in the plant world. Through the spoken word the divine design may be released and each one fulfill his destiny. I now see clearly the perfect plan of my life. Divine enthusiasm fires me, and I now fulfill my destiny. The spiritual attitude towards money is to know that God is man's supply, and that he draws it from the abundance of the spheres, through his faith and spoken word. When man realizes this, he loses all greed for money, and is fearless in letting it go out. With his magic purse of the spirit, his supply is endless and immediate, and he knows also that giving precedes receiving. For example, a woman came to me asking me to speak the word for $500 by the 1st of August. It was then about the 1st of July. I knew her very well, and said, "The trouble with you is you don't give enough. You must open your channels of supply by giving." She had accepted an invitation to visit a friend and did not want to go on account of the formality. She said, "Please treat me to be polite for 3 weeks, and I want to get away as soon as possible, and be sure to speak the word for the $500. She went to the friend's house, was unhappy and restless, and tried continually to leave, but was always persuaded to stay longer. She remembered my advice, however, and gave the people about her presence. Whenever possible, she made a little gift. It was nearing the 1st of August and no signs of the $500, and no way of escape from the visit. The last day of July, she said, "Oh God, maybe I haven't given enough." So she tipped all the servants more than she had intended. The 1st of August, her hostess said to her, "My dear, I want to make you a gift," and she handed her a check for $500. God works in unexpected ways His wonders to perform. Get more at ultimatemasters.org.